It isn't very far to Astoria's bar, but a very long journey it can be. It can start at the mouth of a mighty blue river and end at the bottom of the sea. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in our grandfather's day, when they rode all night to fish in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay.
We're here at the FisherPoets Gathering today, and I'm talking with Britt, who's a second-time attendee. Britt, where'd you come in from for the gathering?
I'm from Woodburn, Oregon.
How many times have you come for the FisherPoets Gathering?
This is my second year attending.
So you like it, so you thought it was worth a repeat performance. Do you see making this an annual event?
Definitely, yeah. Love the community here and the small town event kind of thing. It's very cool.
So what was your favorite part so far?
Not Able Brewing Company. Astoria Brewing Company. They put on a really good show last night, and I think I'll be back there today for round 2 of some storytelling.
Super, Britt. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us here to talk about FisherPoets Gathering. Can you tell me your name, please?
I'm Charlie Becker.
Charlie, I am so happy to meet you. Are you an Astoria local, or did you come from?
I'm a dual citizen. I'm from Portland and Astoria.
So you are well qualified to come to the Astoria FisherPoets Gathering.
Plus I'm an old sailor, so that doesn't hurt. Oh. I'm an old Navy sailor.
Perfect.
And I will say, it's such a delight. The performances here, more than that, the seminar is taught by these real pros, who are real pros at their literal thing, their poetry, and the way they present. So there's a great deal for all of us to learn, I think, going through this. I'm also a bit of a mandolin player myself, so I kind of fade in with this sort of thing. It's very artsy, too. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And I've heard the workshops are really, really good as well, so I'm glad you're
very good on doing your writing. These guys on the water, evidently they occupy themselves doing their writing. They're really remarkably creative. I'm sure you must observe the same thing. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. Charlie, how many years have you been doing this?
I'm about 4 years into this one, okay? And it is kind of new to me, but about 4 years. But I fit right in, and well, for the most part. But there's really a community of people on the water who come here, and I do feel that most of us don't know what it's like to be on that water out there. So here it is brought for us. We get a sense of it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that.
Well, I know it's only Friday. We haven't had the Saturday performances yet, but what's been your favorite part so far?
I think some of the workshops I attended yesterday, which involved your writing of your content and the telling of your story, because we do have stories, and so much of this really is about stories, and it has broad application for stories of all sorts. And so they teach you how to prompt yourself, how you might get enthusiastic, how to present, and really how to find your voice. I mean, really, isn't that what it is? Most of us want to find our voice in what we do.
You know what? We are so lucky we got to talk to you today. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank you. Likewise.
Appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much for talking with us today about the FisherPoets Gathering. We really appreciate your stopping. Can I ask your names and where you're from?
Christine.
And Phil.
From Portland.
Yeah.
And is this your first time at the Poets Gathering?
No, it's our third time. Third time at the Poets.
Okay.
Before COVID and this one.
So if you're here 3 times, you really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's motivated you to come back. What is it you've super enjoyed about it?
Oh, the variety.
The variety. Yeah. There's some of the artists you want to hear longer, and yet 15 minutes, and then you're on to kind of somebody else, and the songs and the poetry and the prose, and some of it's very heartwarming, and some of it's just funny.
Yeah, exactly that.
Okay, I know we only had performances last night that you probably went to. We haven't seen tonight's yet, but for what you've seen so far this year, what was your favorite?
Oh, I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it's such a variety.
it's the immersive experience, and there's such heart from each of those that are presenting, and it's such an honor and privilege to be in the audience. So we're loving all of it.
Oh my gosh, you were the perfect people to interview. So you said that so beautifully. So, tips for anybody coming in, or anything you want to tell them to lure them in?
You can't go wrong with any of the venues. Just pick one, and I don't know.
And you can always get up and walk at any time, and it's so welcoming here in Astoria, and it's a perfect spot. And it's small. It feels like intimate encounter, being able to hear these such personal stories, and then you get to mill around and see faces that look familiar and new faces, and you just come. You're gonna love it.
You know what? It's been my privilege to talk with the two of you. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, thanks for taking a minute to talk to us about the FisherPoets Gathering. Sure. Can you tell me your name?
Jason.
Jason, why are you here this weekend?
This must be like our 15th one. We've been coming since 2008 from Portland to Astoria to see the poetry.
That is fantastic. So that means you're really enjoying it. You're getting a lot out of it. What would you tell people if they were asking you what it's all about and what they should see?
Absolutely. I'm always recruiting folks to come down because it's very casual. Doesn't cost a lot of money. You get to see all the poets you'd like, get to see even more, and it's all walkable. There's plenty of food and plenty of room and lots of voices and 20 minutes, and then you're on to a new artist. So it's been a treat every time. We'll never miss it.
Well, I know we only had the Friday night performances. We haven't had the Saturday night performances yet, but so far, what's been your favorite?
I was seeing a number of great familiar faces, and then I finally ventured out a bit and saying instead of my favorites, I'd see some I didn't know. So last night over at Fort George, I saw Mariah Waterman and thought it was just a home run, each poem of hers. So I hope to maybe track her down or, follow through with my plan to see new artists tonight.
Any tips?
If you just move around a lot and you just open your mind up to something new, you'll always be surprised.
Jason, thank you so much for talking with us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks so much for talking with us today. Can you tell me your name and what town you're from?
Yeah, my name's Karen, and I'm from Wheeler, Oregon, so just down the coast.
So Karen from Wheeler, how many years have you been coming to Fisher Poets?
This is my second year. Yeah, so brought my husband this year. So hopefully he'll enjoy it as much as I did.
So it was good enough to bring your husband back. What is it you particularly liked about the performances last year?
I think the variety, and I actually got up on stage at the Liberty Theater for I don't know what they called it, instant poetry or something. It was fun.
I'm so impressed, and now I'm extra excited that I stopped you on the street to talk to you. So tell me about that experience. How did that go? Did you win? Did you storm off stage? Did you?
No, I did not win. However, I think everybody was a winner because it was so much fun. And I was here with a group of girls, so all my women friends were there. I'm not sure if they're laughing with me or at me, but it was fun. It was a good time.
Well, what would you tell someone if they were thinking about coming to the FisherPoets Gathering?
Definitely do, and stay over, check out the shops. Astoria's a fun town. It really is. So, we're semi-locals, but it's still fun to poke around and see what's in all the shops.
Thank you so much for taking a quick minute to talk with us. Hey, thanks for joining us for a moment. Can I ask you your name?
I'm Karen Lee.
Hey, Karen, where did you come in from?
Eugene, Oregon. Oh, yeah, just from Eugene.
Okay, is it your first time to the Fisher Poets?
Actually, we saw the poets when they came to the Newport Aquarium years ago and fell in love with it. So, no, this is not our first time.
Oh, that is fantastic. I had not known that they'd been in Newport. So
yes, they were. They
awesome.
went to the aquarium there.
Is this your first? Tell me your favorite piece of it. It's only Saturday. We haven't done the Saturday performances, but
I think I really enjoyed the women. I mean, it's amazing, really amazing. So, yeah.
Okay, any tips for people that are coming or anything you want to tell people about coming to the Fisher Poets Gathering?
Well, the cool thing is you can just park and walk. I mean, you look at it and you think it's everywhere, but really it's here. So I love that. So I'm lost, and that's good. So I'm having fun, yeah.
I'm so glad to hear it. I hope you continue to have fun, and thanks for talking with us today. Thanks for talking to us today. Can you tell me your name and where you're from?
My name is Ken Kastner, and I'm from Homer, Alaska.
Whoa, Homer, did you come all the way from Homer for this event?
I did.
I'm speechless. So let me think real quick here. Please tell me your story and what motivated you to come down here and what you're doing in the FisherPoets Gathering.
Well, my sweetie of 51 years is one of the presenters here, and this is her fourth Fisher Poets. So normally I would not be attending, but this year I said, okay, I'm coming. And so I had meetings in Juneau, and we came from Juneau to here, and I'm flying back tomorrow. But it's been fun so far.
Well, what was your favorite? Okay, you do have a favorite, so unbiased. What was your other favorite thing so far?
Well, I was at the Liberty Theater all last night, and there were some really wonderful things. And I don't even remember the cowboy Fisher poet. He came out with a costume that was split in half. He had a hip boot on one leg and a cowboy boot on the other leg, and he had made a garment that was a half a fishing jacket and half a cowboy vest, and he called himself a transfishmite. So. No, he's quite funny and a great poet. And he's known for cowboy poetry, but he's been coming here for years and years, and he's just part of the crowd now. So that was fun.
What else can we tell folks that will entice them to come and maybe give them any tips of good ways to enjoy themselves?
Well, it's an event that incites some creativity in everybody. So I've written a couple of poems. One of them got read last night, and then I'm going to compete tonight in the competition, the 30-second competition, where you have to include the word full moon, and it has to be 30 seconds, and you have to have 5 Bodhi prepositions. So anyway, I've got that composed, but I'm in the first line and the last line has to be the same except different.
Well, we think we're going to try and be there tonight to witness that, so we'll look forward to seeing you again, and thanks for stopping to talk with us. Sure. So I'm very lucky to have Mary with us. Mary presented last night at FisherPoets Gathering, and Mary, I so enjoyed your performance. Can you tell me more about your work?
It's not really work the way I do it. They just sort of come to me and I just write them down. That's about it. And I see all these people really, really work, and I feel guilty because I'm not really, really working. But I think there's stories out there or people out there that want to be talked about, or that they want to give us their stories. So I'd like to have a song about a boarding house lady up there, and canneries, and some women, not probably half and half, men and women, but some of the shore things as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's very important.
Well, Mary, you're lucky that they'll just come to you and you can share them with all of us. What would you like to share with other people about the FisherPoets Gathering and why they should come, and maybe tips?
Yeah, definitely should come, and it's a great amount of fun. The weather this year is perfect. It's been snowing and icing before, but it's perfect this year. And it's just incredible history, and you have to sort of look for where stuff is because it's sort of spread out, but there's stuff in the library, stuff in probably the Maritime Museum still, I think. And down at Pier 39 there's a lot of stuff in the center part of town. It's just really great, and some of the places have food and drink as well. It doesn't get better.
Mary, anything else you want to share with us?
No, I'm just very honored to be here. I'm not really a fisher myself. The greatest respect. I've worked in fisheries research and have some. I lived in Newfoundland, so I got a lot of experience there, but I'm not exactly a fisher. I'm not at all. I would last 5 minutes on a boat and I'd be swept overseas even if it was calm.
Mary, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today.
Thank you.
Take care.
No, I love it. I love FisherPoets.
Okay. Wait, don't talk anymore. Let's make sure I got a microphone in front of you before you say anything. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so thrilled to have you right next to me. Please tell us your name, and I want to say what would you say about your performances?
So I'm Ron McDaniel from Sulphur Springs, Arkansas, and if anybody's seen any more of these videos, they're going to be like, what doesn't belong? And that would be I didn't come here as a Fisher poet. I came here 17 years ago, invited for just kind of a cross-cultural, and I thought I'd come here figuring out what are the differences between cowboys and fishermen. And I found out there aren't that many differences. There's a lot of similarities. So they've allowed me to come back every year. I'm somebody nobody's ever heard of. Fisher Poets is my weekend of fame, and I love to come recite poetry here with them. I have gone up to Setnet with John Broderick's crew in Bristol Bay to see what commercial fishing was like. And like one of his boys said, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into every bite of salmon we eat, and I'll never forget that.
That's very profound. So how many performances you performed last night, right? And you're performing tonight. Where will you be tonight?
I'll be at the Columbian Theater tonight in the 9 o'clock hour, somewhere in there.
Okay, so that's right over
That's
there.
just right down the block here.
What would you like to tell folks to entice them to come and experience this festival?
So I've been here 17 years. I travel the whole country, and I'm stunned that people right here, even in this state of Oregon, don't know the most unique event they could possibly come to. And you get a button like this for $20 that lets you go to every venue all weekend long. And trust me, not that I know things about large cities, you can't even park to go to entertainment for $20, let alone go the whole weekend. So if you don't get to Astoria while you still can, you're missing one of the most unique events in America. I would highly recommend that you make a trip to Astoria the last weekend of February every year.
Thank you so much for your insight on that. And I know I'm going to kick myself later because I'm sure there are other questions I should be asking you. I just can't think of it while you're right in front of me. Maybe I'll catch you again later. And we'll catch your performance tonight.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, my pleasure.
Appreciate it. All right. Thanks for stopping to talk to us today about the Fisher Poets Gathering. Can you tell me your name and where you came from?
Yeah, I'm Steve from Hood River, Oregon.
Steve from Hood River. Is this your first Fisher Poets Gathering?
This is my second.
So what was it about the first one that brought you back for the second one?
Oh, we had always wanted to come, and last year finally was able to happen. And then we had such a fun time that we're like trying to make this a regular thing.
Well, what would you say was your favorite? You went to performances last night, right?
No.
Oh, you're just starting tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so from last time, what was your favorite thing from last time?
We spent most of our time at Fort George last year. I don't know. There was so many good stories, and I grew up in Alaska too, and so it's like a lot of stories that take place there too. And it was like nostalgic and really cool just to see the artistic side of the fishing industry and just kind of what people come up with while they're out fishing for long periods of time. So, yeah.
Well, you're having a good time. You had a good enough time to come back. What would you tell other people who are considering coming out for the Fisher Poets Gathering?
Do it. Make it happen. Just
That's perfect. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Yeah, you bet.
Appreciate it.
All right.
The fire burns bright in the farmhouse fireplace. Closing the logbook, you start to sing. Fishing boats are iced in, snow outside calls me. It's a red late afternoon, I hear a church bell ring.
When his two best friends are his only crew, when his own son says he's glad to take the wheel. It's my brother Mike and me, with my oldest son Anthony, on this wooden trawler built in our backyard. Now it's time to set our nets, the big boats haven't got here yet. When you work out here alone, it isn't hard.
Far away, far away, far away across the the beautiful ocean am I bound to sail all alone, far away across the beautiful sea, far away across the beautiful sea.